Hey there, I'm WLWT meteorologist Allison Rogers here with another update on what's happening across greater Cincinnati. So we did have a very intense line of storms moving through the metro not too long ago, about an hour or so ago. Now that line is starting to break apart a little bit and it's continuing to move off to the east, impacting areas closer to Wilmington, approaching Hillsborough. Now we also have some heavy rainfall moving into Adams County too. Nothing is severe warned at this point, though earlier we did have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings issued for the metro and then just to the east of that as well. So with this line that you're seeing right now, it is bringing in some intense rainfall, but I've got some good news as I'm looking at radar. It's not as intense as it was earlier. So as this is moving off to the east, it's kind of starting to lighten a little bit. That said, we are still looking at pretty much a wall of water over top of Clarksville. This is approaching Wilmington here. We have lots of thunder and lightning, so this is going to be a really loud show that moves in here in the next couple of minutes for areas around Wilmington. Farther to the south, we also have some intense downpours that are rolling through Highland County now, Hillsborough. You've got that really heavy rain over top of you. So if you have to head out, here's what you're going to run into as soon as you get into the car. You're talking really heavy rain that's going to bring down your visibility. So if you can stay home for a couple more minutes just as this intense line passes by, I would definitely suggest doing so because you're not going to get anywhere in a hurry with this kind of weather out there. We also have some intense downpours over top of areas in Brown County too. This approaching Brown County just to the east of Bethel. So Mount Orab seeing some heavy rainfall. That's kind of starting to lighten up, but you've got round number 2 headed closer to 68 here. Areas to the south along the AA highway, Ripley seeing really intense rain, thunder and lightning too. So this is really loud because not only are we talking about these heavy downpours, we've also got constant thunder and lightning going on. So this is going to bring lots of noise, really dark skies, those intense downpours, thunder and lightning, and maybe even some small hail too. I wouldn't be surprised if these areas of this really bright pink here approaching Maysville, producing some small pea-sized hail. But again, that rain's going to come down so heavy, it might be difficult to decipher between the heavy raindrops and some small hail. In addition to that, we've had these heavy downpours over the last 12 hours. Here's what radar is estimating has fallen across greater Cincinnati. More than an inch for some spots in northern Kentucky and into southeastern Indiana. Closer to about an inch to an inch and almost a quarter for some parts of Boone County right now. And then in addition to that, farther south on 75, Dry Ridge just to the south for you in this green stripe here. This is more than a ½ inch of rainfall. In the last 12 hours, we've picked up very similar totals on the east side too. Right around Anderson, Marymount, and then into Campbell County as well, kind of just along the 275 loop here. So right around NKU's campus, right there, we're seeing some of those rainfall totals closer to about a ½ inch, maybe even a little bit more than that. Similar totals in Bracken County as well, where some spots have picked up closer to 3/4 of an inch of rain. As that rain continues to fall, these totals are going to pile up. And whenever we see these intense downpours like what we're seeing right now, or what we saw within the last hour in downtown, you're going to get ponding on the roadways. That much rain coming down in that short of a time, it doesn't really have anywhere to go. So that's something to keep in mind with this too. Some roadways becoming water covered at least a little bit. That is a possibility here as we go through the evening as we see more of these intense downpours. This is just round number 1. We still have additional rainfall on the way, even though if you're looking at the bigger picture, might look like things are starting to quiet down. Unfortunately, that's not the case for us. As we approach the 6 o'clock hour, we are still going to see the potential for more thunderstorms moving through. Those have the best potential for becoming severe. And again, as we've been talking about for the last day or so, all modes of severe weather on the table. That's why today's a weather alert day, because we could see some, of course, heavy rainfall. We've already seen that, but then some damaging winds, some hail, and then also tornado threat. That's there for us this evening as well. So going through the rest of tonight, we'll start to see that secondary line kind of redeveloping here. That's going to bring us the potential for strong thunderstorms within, I'd say, that 5 to 6 o'clock time frame all the way through almost as late as midnight tonight. So have multiple ways to receive those warnings tonight because we still have the potential for severe weather. So here in Futurecast, you'll see these intense downpours that we're seeing right now moving off to the east. But as they get out of here, here comes that potential for some severe weather. That window of opportunity really starts to open up closer to 5 or 6. This is going to bring the potential for some of these cells to become strong, possibly even severe, bringing in heavy wind threat, some hail, and then also that low-end tornado threat too. That doesn't even take into account the potential for some intense lightning and those intense downpours as well. Then tonight, closer to about 11 o'clock or midnight, still looking at the potential for more rain, thunderstorms, potentially strong storms to move through. We briefly dry out only to see more active weather tomorrow. So right now, round number 1, that's happening. That's starting to roll out of here. Then round number 2 starts, we'll call it after 4 o'clock this evening. And at that point, of course, we're going to be on here with News 5 at 4. So we'll be sure to keep you updated throughout pretty much the entire newscast. But this is where we have the most likely potential for seeing those strong to severe storms. The threats, again, all modes of severe weather on the table. Hail, tornado threat, strong winds, and then that flooding threat is there as well with these intense downpours. So we'll be sure to keep you updated throughout the remainder of the day. Right now, no active warnings or watches or alerts in effect. That's good news, but as anything changes, we'll be sure to keep you updated, and we'll have another full update coming up at 3 o'clock. Then, of course,